Two. No, 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 no.
What are you doing?
Yo, yo, yo. What up, everybody? How you
Hey,
doing today,
hey,
man?
man, I'm doing,
I don't know
I'm
if you
doing
need a formal
podcasting.
introduction, but this is Austin fucking Forman. For those of you that might not know, unfortunately, Kat can't be with us today. You're not Sam, so she doesn't put in the extra effort like she
That's
would
fair.
Sam.
I
Yeah,
was wondering, I was thinking maybe, she might have been still mad at me, so I didn't blame her.
no, she ain't mad.
Okay,
Um,
that's good.
this was a podcast I never actually thought I'd see happen. Especially how we were kind of introduced to each other.
Yeah, I'm taking these off. I can't do it no more. No gummies tonight, so we're good. Yeah, I didn't think it happened either. Never actually. I would have been too scared of you back then. Like he's gonna dox me 17 times, which it happened anyway, so it doesn't matter, does it?
You see?
It wasn't you. You're the troll accounts, aren't you? I think you are.
Oh, totally, totally. I'm bad at trolling. I'd much rather say it with my face, 100% of the
That's
time.
fair. That's fair. Yeah.
I want
That's
to
what I
take
keep telling
ownership of
people.
everything.
That's what I
That's
keep
why,
telling
like,
people.
it's been funny because you weren't following our Freedom Fam. We weren't mutuals or anything on that account. So I made a
Uh,
video toward not toward anybody, but I forget the guy's name. Um, oh yeah, Jesus is here. We got Jesus
nice.
in the house.
I need to
Um,
pull up the chat here.
and I had asked because I've been out of the loop on your drama really since after you came after me, and then once you and Craig split up, I kind of just didn't care anymore about it because it didn't affect me anymore. So I didn't know
Yeah.
what you were being accused of, all the accusations, all this stuff. So I put out saw one guy come across my FYP talking about you, and I stitched him and I said, hey, send me what you got because I'll confront it with him. And needless to say, I haven't gotten much, but I have gotten attacked by asking for that question. I've gotten some threats, not doxed yet again, which I found interesting because here I'm trying to get all sides of the story of what you're being accused of to allow you to explain it without worrying about some censorship or anything like that. And just so everybody knows in the chat, one of the things that I've been accused of is I know how to grab all of your IP addresses from YouTube Live.
Yeah, see, I see that's actually me. I see that we have somebody from Washington watching right now. I'm going to go ahead and yeah.
Like some of these people have made me out to look like this genius. I'm really not as smart as what they make me out to be. I don't know how to grab IP addresses from anything, much less from a YouTube live. Don't know how to do it. I've never doxed. You can't. Nobody can ever show proof of this. But when you had come at me, I kept trying to warn you because you kept building it up that you were coming, and I kept trying to warn you, hey, you ain't got the whole story. You thought I was arrogant at the time. And you kept warning me, you quit being arrogant. That's going to be your downfall. And I'm like, no, you just don't know the whole story. I'm not arrogant. I'm just confident. What was told to
Yeah.
you that made you want to come at me?
A dude, okay, so I think I had two different stories mixed together at some point too.
Okay.
But man, thinking back if I could put it all together. So I had crap about like basically a group, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you remember me always saying that a group of people that basically went behind the scenes and kind of like honestly exactly what's happening to me right now is not, but it's I don't think it's you obviously, but is pretty much what was described to me. And then I think with the thing with Joe at that time, and that's really what it all started. When I was confronted Joe over something. Um,
Right.
that it just kind of all meshed together, and then freaking, specifically what I was told well, about the woman,
Yeah,
that passed.
you unmailed
So
yourself.
right,
But
that was the nail in the coffin for me. And I think at that time, thinking back to my mindset then, we were just kind of rolling with everything. So everything was kind of like at its peak then. So it's just like roll, kind of. I call it sleepwalking. So you just
mhm.
kind of get this information. You're like, okay, on to the next thing, because there was so much crap coming in all the time. So I just kind of went with it, man. That was a learning lesson for me within itself. When I got time to think about it, because, dude, the exact same thing that I did to you, and we've already had this discussion. I've
Mhm.
apologized to you for it, but the exact same thing that I did to you, which was assuming things and taking things just because somebody said it and assuming it's true and running with it or whatever it might be. Uh, it's been happening to me, and it's horrible. So I get it. That sucks, but you know, hey, it full circle, man. Full circle. Landed here. We could talk about it and stuff like that, but I don't remember exactly what was told besides I mean, basically a bunch of generalized stuff. If
Right.
I can remember, I'd have to go look back. But
Yeah, and that's why, like I had told you, like obviously you had already gone at Joe, I think several weeks before, and then
yeah,
you were asking more and more about Joe, and I said, look, can Joe be an asshole? Absolutely. Like in those text messages of that magical phone you have, Joe's probably a dick in there, 100%.
the
Like,
prison phone.
but at the end of the day, my philosophy is when it comes to private stuff, like private text messages and stuff, we're all assholes. We're all mean. We're all vile. I mean, if
Well,
anybody
when you're
tries
talking
to
with your
deny that they're
friends,
not,
yeah,
what's that?
when you're talking with your friends, I was sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. When you're talking with your friends, in a group of 4 or 5 of you, you're gonna say shit in there that you don't say publicly
Correct.
because you know that there's a different demeanor and manners that you should have, when you're talking to a bunch of people you don't know than it is when you're talking to people. When you're talking to people to know, everybody has those private conversations. And the fact that the only reason that it's a big deal is when it gets put to the public where it was never meant to be in the first place.
Correct.
If it was never meant to be there, they would act like you put that message out to the public and treat
Right.
you as if you did that. And that's not the case. It's the same way with any other private conversation you have. Everybody does that. It's so weird that people get so blown up over it.
Now I do
But
got one video that I'm gonna show real quick, and then allow you to explain that one.
Don't fuck with my wife. It's crazy, dude. But anyways, hope you have a good night. And welcome to the Facebook group. Oh, almost forgot. If anybody needs to serve Jody with any kind of legal papers for harassment or anything like that, I got you.
hell yeah, I doxed the shit out of her.
Any
I'll tell you why.
reason? I
Yeah,
mean,
I'll
because
tell you why.
I'm not a fan of
Yeah.
that.
No, and that's not her current address, but I'll tell you why I did it. That's the first person. So first of all, they all this time everybody run around said I dox everybody, I dox everybody. That's the first person I've actually doxed. But and I stand by it. That woman, I don't know what other way to put it besides harassed, freaking made 20,000 videos about me and my wife. When she started going in on my wife
Sure.
doesn't get involved in this side of TikTok really, almost ever. If she does say anything, it's brief and it's on a live. Anyway, she starts saying nice things about my wife. She doxed my full address. Um, so tit for tat. I don't care. I got to a point where I've always tried to be, um, I want to be what do you call it, bigger man or whatever, and just do the right thing. But people just got too comfortable. You start doxing my address and everything else. If I don't set that boundary, people are just going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? So
Did I
I don't care.
did I see a video of somebody had your floor plan to your house?
Yeah, yeah, that's the
Did I
same
see
same
that
person.
once?
Yeah,
Oh, that
so
was that same
it
person?
yeah, so the yeah. So well, there were multiple people, but yeah, she had it on there too. So it was a satellite view image, kind of like what I did in that video, except the other one was hers was like satellite image of it, the floor plan of the house. It was just weird. Anyways, and then after and this she did this a week or two ago with the doxing thing. My address isn't hard to find. It doesn't really bother me that much. But when people are going to do that, and then she continued to talk about my wife, she said something else about my wife in that video. That's just, I don't like that. I'm very protective of her. So,
Sure. No,
especially on the
I
internet
mean,
trolls.
as any husband probably should be. I mean, definitely should be protective of their spouse. How has that dynamic been of trying to keep that separate, the drama
For the
away
most
from?
part, for the most part, it's good. If she wants to know about something or she sees something she gets curious about or whatever and wants to hear a story, I'll tell her. She doesn't really ask much about it. I try to keep that because I'm dealing with it all the time. So I try to keep it completely that way when my wife and I are hanging out, we can hang out with the baby, talk about whatever she wants to talk about, um, stuff like that. And it kind of also gives me an escape from it. My
Sure.
wife is my escape. My daughter's my escape. So that is good. Now, when people try to bring her into it on the internet, half the time she has no idea what they're talking about. Or she'll say, these trolls are tagging me in this. I just say block them. I just blocked it because there'll be the troll accounts or whatever trying to start crap. Um, she doesn't do the clapback stuff and all that. So
Yeah, yeah. Now, you kind of got. I'm going to use the word TikTok famous just because you hit over 1 million followers, and
yeah.
that's obviously not by chance or luck or whatnot. So, 1 million followers is 1 million followers, regardless. And it was kind of off of a song, right? About voting for a felon.
So up until I would say the AFF thing started, I had about 500. I built about 500,000 followers through the course of 4 years, 3 or 4 years. Just kind of grinding it out. You know what I mean? Just doing whatever, playing the music, making videos, whatever. Once I started really getting into responding to people doing clapbacks and the Dixie Chicks song, when I did the cover of the Dixie Chicks song, that really started blowing the account up. Um, and then what else? There were a couple other things after that. It just at that time, for some reason, at some point in time, my name pretty much took over the algorithm for a little while. And so like either everything was and it was mostly positive stuff. So everything was AFF. And so I just gained a lot of followers. As far as the song goes, no, that didn't give me a lot of followers. Matter of fact, the song didn't do that well, but that's because I never recorded it professionally. I just put a cell phone recording on Spotify.
Right.
I think it got, I don't know, maybe a few 100,000 views. But no, it may have gotten me some. I'd have to go look, but it didn't get. Most of mine was built off of clapbacks or the Dixie Chick song, which was designed to. I don't know if you were around them, but it was basically taking it from the left because the left was trying to tell all these conservative women they couldn't use the song, and that if they did, that the
Sure.
money was going to Planned Parenthood and all this other crap.
Right.
So
And then you didn't vote?
yeah, no, I didn't vote. Yeah.
Oh,
Huh. Well, I
you
mean,
didn't
my
want to?
voter
Or?
registration. Well, I mean, yeah, my voter registration wasn't updated. Anyways, in Florida, so in Florida, you can go to like just like they did actually, and this is before I'd gotten doxxed and all this crap. But in Florida, you can go to the website and actually literally pull up anybody's address that they're registered to vote in. So mine's registered about hour and a half, 2 hours away. Um, I don't know, man. It wasn't like I'm a very big procrastinator, like really, really bad, really bad. I came in here and cleaned this room up, like scrambling to get the phone ready to get on this podcast, and I was doing something else right up to the last minute. Really, really bad. So, you know, my I don't know, just wasn't even something that I was just more focused on what I had to do every day than go
All
do
right.
it. But hey, one.
Right.
So
So I guess because that was another thing that was confronted me about, of course, is that you're this fake conservative. You built a platform off of conservative and
those
then don't
stupid little
vote.
bitches. Oh, sorry. What can I say on here? What can't I say? I don't know
You
about
know
YouTube, but there are
anything you want.
guidelines. Um, they they're so concerned with whether I voted or not because it's just another thing that they could say.
True.
Um, that's all it is for me. So if they can't think of anything else, or if I don't give a shit about anything else, they're gonna go with, "Well, he didn't vote. He's a fake conservative." It's interesting because the amount of people through the time when everything was going great and like everything was at its peak, the amount of people that commented or let's say messaged or anything that I interacted with, more than more than 10 at least, that said, I was a liberal, I was on the left, but this environment and everything, it's made me change my mind. I wouldn't say it's like a huge number, but it's a good bit of people that surprised me. The amount of people that um, it became the reason people say that it was a conservative thing is because I started it by standing up to liberals that were going after conservatives,
Okay.
especially conservative women. And that's how it all started because I noticed that there was a big imbalance. You know what I'm talking about. There's a big
Mhm.
imbalance on the TikTok app, and and conservatives were just kind of defeated on the app, like a lot. And liberals pretty much took that and ran with it. And they were just demolishing their accounts. They were just overrunning them with commenters, and basically the same thing that we ended up doing. They were doing to pretty much every conservative that they could. And I never was much into debating politics. It's not my thing. I'm not
Sure.
educated on it enough to know or to get into a debate and win. That's more of like older millennial thing. Might be your thing. I don't know. But it's not mine. So I never got into that. But that's how it started was popping back at the left.
Sure.
Eventually, as time went on, I ended up making it very clear that I don't give a shit who you vote for or what your stance is. Anybody can get the smoke. Because people just start the right started some people if somebody started talking shit, I'm gonna clap back at them. I didn't care who they voted for. I wasn't asking them. So that's why they tried to turn it into that thing. I I think the biggest thing I did as far as politically motivated, besides the song, um, would be I made a video towards Donald Trump at one point. Um, but it's basically like I don't know, I was in my feelings. I was like, dude, you inspired me. Thank you. I don't remember the whole video, but it was basically saying thank you. You motivated us or whatever,
Sure.
and inspired us. So they just take it and freaking say whatever they can about anything. I don't give a shit if they liked that I voted or didn't.
No, I get you. I guess this there's a guy in here, Leon. I guess everybody's saying it's Craig or something. Leon
Oh,
Marks. They're all saying it's JCC. If JCC is Leon, I just want to say you're welcome to come on the podcast too when you want. It's an open invitation to Craig as well. Now let me get into another one here we got for you. This one's a little short, but kind of goes along the political lines that I know some people that are in here probably won't get offended, so you're probably gonna have a little explanation to do on this one.
sweet.
Look at your profile picture, you fucking towelhead.
If this is your king, unfollow me.
Oh,
Is there
yeah.
context spot? I mean, not that context
Yeah. I mean,
needs a
so
lot, but
so
like what was going
I
on
was
there?
there was a freaking troll account in my live talking mad shit, and when I pulled up his profile picture right before I kicked him out, he was uh dressed in like freaking the whatever you call, he was the Islam guy or whatever. Not Islam, that's a religion. Freaking Middle Eastern fella. And yeah, he had a towel on his head, so he was being an asshole. So I called him a name. I don't care. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I mean that's how I feel about it. And if people get offended, I don't care if they get offended either. I mean, that's not so. I don't. If somebody's talking shit to me, uh, and I didn't even know that was a thing that you can't say anymore. So I didn't know that. But I don't know if it's like because when I was in the Marine Corps for a short period of time, that was like normal language. So is that considered racist? Be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, I would probably go along those
I
lines of
mean,
it.
it's a
Just
dress. It's the way you dress. You got a towel on your head. They
I
might for somebody being an asshole to me. I'm gonna interpret it that way.
sure. It probably wouldn't be the words that I would choose. I
Sure.
could see where it would come across as racist, of course. And so that's why I wanted to give you a chance to.
Yeah. No. I mean, yeah. So I mean, am I a racist person? No, I'm not a racist person. Meaning I don't. Look, I'm a freaking if you're an asshole to me, I'm gonna be an asshole to you. And I don't care if I hurt your feelings. That's basically how I am. I don't Your feelings are inconsequential to me. Unless you're then I'll care about your feelings if you're being a nice person. If you're like whatever,
Right.
I'll try to be mindful of them. But somebody being an asshole. Plus, I don't even think it was a real. I th- think it was a troll account. Somebody just using that picture on purpose. So
Someone use.
yeah.
You got any Dr. Pepper? There it is. Okay, gotta make sure.
Always with the good AFF family koozie. Yeah, I'm glad you asked me about that because I saw that and I just laughed shit like that off, bro. Because I'm like, dude, I don't even want if somebody's he's using that. Remember the girl that I was talking about, the one that I doxed recently?
Mhm.
Um, that's her cousin. So that
Wow,
tells you anything.
you got
So
another family.
maybe that's why he's angry. I don't know. Well, he's got a lot of reasons to be angry.
Yeah. I don't know what this Frank guy came out of woodworks. It looks like.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, I wish you had that. Did anybody send you that?
What's that?
It's so when all this stuff popped off, there was when some audios were coming out, there were a lot of real audios coming out, but there was an audio that they put out that was like something about basically it was supposed to be me saying, "You think we could do a segregated Discord?" Like trying to make a segregated Discord and telling saying, "Well, maybe one of our black members could take it." I mean, it was just some racist stuff. Yeah, but I guess they bleeped it out, but I think it's supposed to say the N-word and stuff like that. But if you listen, I'll just send it to you if I can find it, so you hear what I'm talking about. But if you listen to it, it's so clearly AI. And there's a big difference. I mean, even found the website that it was made on and recreated it. So,
Yeah, they tried
um,
to do some AI stuff on me. Not these same people, but some of the people that was coming to you to go after me over that woman unaliving herself
uh,
and putting it all on us.
yeah.
Um,
It was the cheap AI though, man. They could have spent some money and made it actually sound a little better, but it was bad. I was like, anybody that believes this is a dumbass I don't want around me anyways.
Now, just out of curiosity, just because I've been around this drama talk for a hot minute, too long, and the people that are coming at you now, how many of them supported you when you were going at liberals or people that they didn't like?
The people that show their face, every one of them almost. I can't think of one that did it. And a lot of them, I specifically, I used to also have a habit of using that platform to try to put others on.
Mhm.
Like that was something I was known for is not really caring, you got a small account, whatever, we're gonna share your account, we're gonna try to build it up or whatever. I kind of shared that platform. Everything moved so fast. I'd never had something that size. And I just thought it was cool to just share it with people.
Right.
Um, so a lot of them I helped in a lot of ways. A lot of them came to me for help. I mean, just depending on there's so many people. But yeah, every single one of them. I don't think there's one of them that didn't in one way or another support me or follow me or enjoy it. So
And I guess the dying question that a lot of people got is what do Brittany and Sam have on you?
they got my diary. Pretty much. And it wasn't pink. They turned it pink. I don't know if they're just trying to troll me, but yeah, they got it. They got all my dirty secrets. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they're the ones that've been releasing all the info.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
could
so every time what happens
totally
is every time I go to them and say, "Hey guys, can I please stop now?" They give the trolls more info to release. And just a little bit of leaking here and there. Boom, there you are. Um, Sam, Sam runs all the hacking equipment to where she got hacked my main account, um, and it took it down. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm kidding. For anybody watching this, is going to screen record that and say I'm serious. Sam and Brittany are great people. Hold on, I want to see what Leon said. Should bring that guy Gage up. Austin's afraid of him. So this Sam and Brittany are great people, by the way. This guy Gage,
Yeah, he
yeah,
came at me today.
yeah.
I was
Okay,
introduced to him today, and yeah, go ahead.
that might be Gage. I don't know. They keep saying it's Craig, but um, he swears he lives in my town. I don't believe him. Number one, I don't believe him. Number two, I told him if he knows where I live. I told him pull up many, many times. Some random dude, you know who he is. You've seen him.
Well, now I do.
Post like the same picture over and over again with texts. like the same 4 pictures or something.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
what
even
he did.
convinced that it's the actual person. But either way,
Yeah, he was strange because I got tagged in his video, and then he started commenting to me and made a video talking about how he doesn't respect me, and I'm like, I don't know who you are, so I don't really care
right.
if you respect me or not because I don't know who you are. And he's like, well, it's funny you're commenting on my videos and you're claiming you don't know who I am. I'm like, because I got tagged, bro, in your own video. That's why I'm here.
People, their sense of entitlement is crazy.
It
It's
was,
like,
in all honesty, still, we've had controversial people on this podcast before that've been in drama, Jesse Lawless and a couple other people. And it was always easy to get like the opposing views because like people were readily ready to share it. And when I asked for the opposing views on you and all the accusations that you're coming across, it was a battle. The guy that I initially stitched was like, well, you know where to find me. I'm like, yeah, that's why I stitched you. So like now you want to, and
because
never
didn't
heard
you
from him
also,
again.
I think, didn't you also ask, I might be wrong, but in that post, didn't you also say with proof?
Yeah,
Or,
because I wanted the
yeah,
receipt.
that's the
Like,
problem. That's the problem. That's why they
and,
won't.
and I just want receipts. I mean, these were a couple of the ones. There was some like, I guess more serious stuff that I couldn't get the whole story to. And so I don't even want to bring it up just because it doesn't make sense to. Um, but then it became a conspiracy that we're working together, and if for some reason if they gave me the information that you would do something with it, and I'm like, but isn't all this public on TikTok somewhere? Because if it is, then it should be easy to just send it to me. And
Yeah, that's why they can't show can't show your receipts because then we're going to give it to Austin. Well, that doesn't make sense. No, next they'll be saying that I'm paying you. So just wait for that one. They're
oh
going to say that you're on
well,
the
I'm already
payroll.
paid by George Soros, so I don't need
Lucky.
your money because I got
And
Soros money.
I'm dating Elon Musk. Yeah.
So that's when it became like all week because I made that video on Monday to that guy, and just asking, and I've had a couple of people in my inbox. I've had a couple videos sent to me. Some of it didn't make any sense. Obviously, you just admitted that you doxed the one person. So have you doxed multiple people or?
No, I mean, so for me, when people say docs, I think about like an address, a phone number, something specific like that. I have shown identities of, let's say, faceless accounts or somebody like who they actually were. I have in the past, I've pulled records, like criminal records, whatever. Um, Nothing worse than these people have done to me or others. This is the first time I've done like a freaking address or any kind of phone number or anything like that. I've never even accidentally doxed a phone number. Um, so that's what I consider doxing. Now I know, I guess if you Google it, the general term could be very broad as to what doxing is. Um, so anybody can interpret it however they want. But when somebody gets on the internet and says, you're doxing, that's the first thing most people think of is he's out here freaking showing everybody's addresses, everybody's freaking, phone numbers and crap like that, or their families or whatever else. Um, Even under the Guardian account, which is their favorite thing to say, that they said that the Guardian account doxed everybody. No, he didn't. Then they can't show you because it doesn't exist. Um, Identities were exposed mainly on the Guardian account. Identities or records or basically stuff I showed you.
Okay.
Um, so
So
and one time
like
a girl's
criminal
former
records.
workplace. Yeah, criminal records, right? Yeah,
Okay, that are usually public.
yeah. It's all public information, all of it. Most of the shit that is found like on a Facebook, it's stuff that they've already posted on social media. It's just a different platform, cross platforms. Yeah.
Yeah. That one's always been wondering to me because like when you post somebody's Facebook, all of a sudden you're doxing somebody. It's like it's a social media platform. It's public.
Dude,
Like
all the stuff they scream, man, you're doxing to this. I'm thinking, wouldn't it be readily that proof would be all over the internet right now instead of
right,
just a bunch of people yelling it. They'd be happy to share that. They'd be like,
right.
look, we're right. Cancel this guy again and again and
I
again.
thought that's what I was gonna get because of all the accusations that I had heard and tried to discover too that I was trying to get And the only one that I got was the one that we already showed, which a couple of people sent it to me without it blocked. So I'm like, well, that's kind of doing the same thing.
Right.
And so I used one that was blocked 'cause I don't want to get accused of doxing either.
Yeah.
And so, because I heard something about a large creator that you like found an IP address and
Adriel Sigler.
okay.
Yeah. So Adriel Sigler, I don't know if you're familiar with her or not.
Mm-mm.
If you aren't, good for you, man. You're lucky. So, dude, to keep it brief, I was doing something else at the time, and my shit just starts getting blown up. I started getting tagged and messaged one day about Adriel Sigler, and it was all about initially like her GoFundMe and how many people she doxes, and she had like we had about the same amount of followers. I think she had 1.1 or something, and she was more of a live content creator. And so I'm like, okay, I make a little video just kind of testing the waters and seeing how she responded. We're just saying, hey, basically, and people are tagging me and shit, so I'm gonna look at it. And just kind of went from there. So I was just having fun with it, playing until this Reddit account came up, and it was from her, or at the time it was allegedly from her back when she was a teacher, where it was like a faceless account, but she had put um what to do if I'm interested in one of my students or if I have a crush on one of my students. Yeah. So we started looking at that. Now, All Money, I don't know if you know who that is.
Oh yeah.
So All Money, actually, I don't know how to I'm not good with computers like that.
Hey,
Um,
you like accused of.
what? The master doxers? Yeah. All Money, he actually is the one that helped me with that. And he'll tell you, I mean, there's a video on YouTube that he has up where he told you exactly how he did it. Now, there's a lot that we didn't show online. That was my choice. He would have. He don't care. He'll dox the hell out of somebody. He'll tell you to your face. He don't care if he thinks you're wrong and you're bad and you're a bad person. You're doing this crap. He'll put it all out there. I had to tell him like, okay, we're gonna blur this out. We're not gonna show this part because we were on FaceTime as he was finding the IP and tracking it back and showing me how he was doing it. Um, Now people are like trying to say, "Oh, that's illegal." Well, so is being a predator to minors. If you want to press charges, press charges. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. That's how I respond to them. Number one, I didn't do it, but I'm also not trying to throw it on All Money. Like, go. He probably don't give a shit either. What'd you say? I'm sure he's educated on that, so I'm sure he stayed within the legal lines to protect himself.
And I guess that's the confusing part, because if these are all supposed to be conservatives, I feel like Save the Children has been a large driving message of the
Well,
conservative
it's
movement.
one of the only things that they can use to try to justify their actions right now. I mean, they have to justify it somehow. It can't just be he hurt my feelings one day. They have to find something to justify their shit, and so I guess that, and then they'll just try to act like I made it up, or they'll try to just that's the only thing they can do.
Yeah.
It's funny though about that, Adriel. After all that, I mean, it was exposed with a video. I made a video. We exposed it, and I blacked out the stuff that was the important part that could have been identifying as far as doxing goes. And then it was like people talked about it for like a week or two. Her account stayed up. Everybody forgot about it. They've been canceling me for trying to cancel me for like 3 months.
And
Uh,
you
l-
continue bringing
what
that up.
exactly? What's important? It depends on what's important and what's more. I'm also an asshole, bro. Like I respond to all of them, and I intentionally get on their nerves. I intentionally do this over cocky, overly arrogant thing where I remind them every day that I'm their dad. They hate it. They hate it. So I think it pisses them off more because
I can't tell you how many times I was in the comments about "you're not my dad" or something. I think a couple
that's
people replied to you in the comment section about "you're not my dad." Oh, that's
yeah.
weird.
I'm basically a big troll, bro. That's all. I mean, I do shit intentionally to if you're gonna sit there and make videos about me, I'm gonna make sure that I show you I'm better at it than you are. That's what I try to do. So
Hey,
um,
I can relate to that, honestly.
yeah.
So, all right, we got one more here, and then we'll go free for all. This one's a little bit long, but I sped it up.
Anyway, I tell y'all I'm past the point of taking y'all shit. I'm past the point of taking y'all shit.
Austin Forskin's going around TikTok now talking about how he aired everybody out on Twitch.
Just in case you don't know, this is another guy that thinks he's my worst nemesis. Always over there arguing with himself, looking at the camera all crazy, talking about me.
Forskin, are you just going to lie to people at this point?
When you said, are you just going to lie to people at this point? You insinuated that I haven't been lying to people thus far. You were saying, am I going to start lying to people? So thank you for admitting that, fucking finally. Second of all, I don't have a Twitch, and I never said I was airing anybody out. So, there's 2 lies from you already.
What are they going to find when they get to X, Austin? They're going to find you talking shit for about 5 minutes until the big boys show up.
You did not just call you and Wolfie the big boy. Okay, Jesus Christ. Well, you go to X, you're going to see me going off on people a few days ago. You're going to see this post here where I called Wolfie and all them out for having a Mass Report Videos channel in their Discord server. Then you're going to see the big boys come over there. Big boys come over there and tell me what's what. They're scary, like real scary. Also see Captain Dumbass over here telling me that he lives in Pensacola when he doesn't. He lives in Spanish Fork or whatever. Close enough, I guess. And you'll also see him talking about wanting to meet up and all this shit. And I tell him no, because I looked him up at that point, and I know where he works, I know where he lives. I can show up to his house, don't worry. But I do like a good meal every now and then.
And once you see my comments of me telling him straight up, give me an address, and you see what his response is, you go ahead and give me a follow.
Jesus Christ, talk about a super fan. I'm pissed at Austin. I asked him for an address, and he said he would come find me when he's ready. I'm pissed. But also, I'm still using his name a lot and then asking you to follow me. Can I use also for followers still? I didn't even want to meet me. You know what I'm more interested in? What's happening on Facebook. Specifically with Mr. Christopher Burgess. Huh. Oh, yeah. Christopher, you didn't tell me you guys did professional photography in the kitchen. Question, not being judgmental, but do you eat too much of the food while you're cooking? Just a little bit. Crazy. So yeah, anyways, over on X, Wolfie comes over there, he starts running his mouth, and then somehow he gets mad about something. I forget what he gets mad about. I don't know, because I pissed him off. And, yeah, it might have been because I put his Discord up there and shit, the Master Report. Yeah, so then Wolfie ends up saying some mean shit about my wife, that I'm not going to repeat. And then Captain Obvious jumps in, does the big boys, the big boy crew. And he says some weird shit about me raising my kids. Speaking of, Chris, I find it very strange that you talk about my children when you yourself have an upcoming court date for custody. I wonder if the judge would care if, like, your ex-wife got a hold of all the crazy shit you've been doing on the internet. The stalking and harassing you've been doing with me. Weird threats that you were making on X. I don't know. But I'll probably stop talking about my kids. Oh, one more thing, Chris.
I'm curious, have you filled out any job applications yet? No? Still gonna continue to be that guy? Just sitting at the house waiting for that TikTok money to come in that ain't ever coming in again?
Chris, did you just boast about my loss of income? Damn. Who knows? But before I go, I just want to congratulate you on something, man. I didn't know you back then, so I didn't get to congratulate you then. But it's pretty cool. You're winning awards and stuff. You're the 2024 Grand Champion winner for the Fairhope State Cook-Off, representing Mosley's Fine Meats. Nice. Mosley's Fine Meats. Cool, man. Yeah. That's where you work on. I haven't really researched it much, so I'm not positive. But looks like that might be where you work. I guess we'll see. I mean, if that is where you work and I come meet there, I'm just letting you know I like my steak rare. That's your story there by the time I get there.
Yeah, that's one of my kids. That's one of my kids. Yeah, he requires a lot of attention out of me, and I just don't always have the time to give it to him. So instead, he sits and makes sure that I have a full montage of videos to look at when I do get to go check in on him. So yeah, you know, people. I made a it wasn't that long ago. Said something about this. How, you know, people continue to boast and brag about me losing income, and that's their favorite. You know, one of their favorite things to do is to go on and on and on about money and take care of my family, but you know, just annoying shit that they don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
But they think it's funny and they think it's hilarious and they think some that to take just out of pure, like, I mean, you asked them to send you. You could have hit me if they would have sent you some freaking like some receipts of some of the crap that they claim and like some hardcore showing that I'm such a shitty person or whatever, then you could have hit me with it. They could have got me right here on this podcast and it could have been their moment. They don't have
kind of what I was honestly going for, and then that's when it turned into a conspiracy theory that I don't know.
That's what they have to do now, say that you're on my side, because that's why they wouldn't send it. But yeah, so at any rate, so they just, if they think it's funny, they think it's funny. Well, I'm sorry. I told them the other day, I'm not your safe space anymore. I'm not going to be the better person. You want to get on here and you think it's funny, I'll show you how fucking funny it is. I will. You think it's now? I didn't call it a job or anything like that, and I even said I wasn't going to. But if he does live like 40 foot or no, an hour and 15, hour 20 minutes away from me. I might go up there and have him cook me a steak dinner sometime soon. I'm serious. Like I wouldn't. Whatever. I don't hate any of these people. I don't. They just annoy
Even
the
the
shit
ones
out of
like
me.
talking about taking away your income.
No, I don't hate them. They just annoy the shit. 'Cause to them, I think. So if I try to understand what they're thinking when they're doing it, they just are joining in on the freaking. That to them, it's funny. It's fun. It's let me just talk some shit too. They're joining in with their buddies. But I'm gonna like I'm tired of that shit. I understand. I'm gonna like it's not funny. If you think it's funny, then we're gonna see if you think it's funny. when you feel like yours might be a risk. And they're, well, it's different. You got yourself in, I mean, this is your income was TikTok. You got in TikTok drama, you know the consequences. So do you.
See, but that's where, for me, one, as a conservative, two, as a capitalist, and when the whole TikTok ban was going on, I made a couple videos about it, just because there's roughly 12 to 14 million people that rely on TikTok for income. And so a couple of
Wow.
videos that I had made, like outside of TikTok, on Instagram and X, they would be a lot of the response that are non-TikTokers would come back and say, well, these people need to get a real job.
Mm, right.
And I
Yeah.
kept asking, like, what's a real job? Because as long as you're making money, I mean, strippers are a real job. I mean, in all reality, and however you can make money is a job if you want. I mean, and so I guess if they're going to brag as conservatives of taking away another man's income just because of pure hate, like, I don't really see that as being very good conservatives in my view, because I couldn't imagine, like, a family. And so for me, it was like, and that's why, for like the TikTok, the ban thing was more than like free speech. It was like, man, people's income is on this thing at the end of the day, whether
Dude.
we like it or not. That's part of our society now. This is a job to a lot of people. And now, like
Right.
yourself, it's been taken away. I don't know where it's hit you financially. I'm not going to ask. It's none of my business.
Well, I've lost thousands of dollars a month. Yeah. No, it's okay. I'll tell you. I don't care. I've lost thousands of dollars a month. And here's how they justify it. Uh, First of all, let me say this. Anytime that I've ever wanted somebody's account reported or thought that was necessary, I didn't do it behind the scenes. I'll just like I've in those last two videos you've shown the things that I do, I don't hide from it. I do it. If I do it, I feel like I'm doing it because I stand behind it. You know what I mean? And that's something I want to do. So there was a point in time where anybody that I clapped back and did any kind of clap back video to, like, their account went down. Not anybody, but a lot of them. And I don't know if,
You
like,
didn't get mine.
a lot of them just had really bad content. Like, they were just saying horrible crap. Yeah, but probably because your content wasn't walking around in your backyard talking about what a piece of shit alcoholic I was and how, just cussing me out like a dog. You can't do that on TikTok. You can't do
Right.
that. They're going to take your videos, and what is it, like 4 or 5? You can get 4 or 5 videos taken down and your account's gone. Um,
And the
and
comments.
so that had yeah, see, and that happened, and people slowly, but it started out really small, with like just a couple people being like trying to blame me when I didn't. Like, if I want your account reported, I'd say it. The only things that I've actually sent and said, "Hey, go mass report," is um for like the green light came around, but it wasn't initially about reporting. Green light came around. Sorry, I'm gonna backtrack here. The green light came around because people were blaming me for everything that everybody said to them about the money Austin AFF is.
I was going to
Yeah.
address that when you're done.
Uh,
Just,
yeah.
yeah, finish your thought real quick, and then we'll address that one.
Yeah. So the green light came around, or the green emoji that makes everybody cry, came around because of that. So when they started saying your people just go everywhere and you got to basically to control your followers thing. Um, I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I'm going to do a green light, meaning like you can engage with these people. If you're going to
Right.
say that you're doing it on my behalf, that's what it means. You go engage with these people, troll their comment section, whatever. And even when I put the green light out, I said, don't get, I always didn't want them getting in people's DMs. I didn't think that was necessary because, people were saying they were getting death threats in their DMs. Um, and tried to contain that. Now, then when it became an issue and then they didn't like the green light, I took it away again. I was like, okay, well then I'm not, listen, like these are grown people. They're going to do what they want. Then we brought it back when there was a guy that was sitting in a live around the age of real time. He's sitting in a live just saying that we sent somebody to his house with guns. Over and I mean, sitting there crying, acting like whatever. So I went live and I freaking told him, go report that dude's live. It was annoying the shit out of me. You're not gonna have hundreds of people in there, whatever it was, buying his shit. Like, people were buying his story because he was so good. He was a crybaby. But acting like we sent people to his house with guns. Um, so Yeah, but it was like P3DOs or freaking people that were out here doxing people, like just that were nasty people that I thought or whatever. Um, Let me think. Adriel, like predators. Yeah, I don't remember. At any rate, oh, and this recently I did it while they were mass reporting my main account. So I said, anybody that's bragging about mass reporting it, anybody that's doing it, I'm about to do it to you. And we greenlit again. But I try not to do it no more because freaking dude, they cry so much about it. Like, but I'm not out here. So that's how they justify it, is that people's account. Now, most of these people that are actually crying about accounts getting taken down, I never did, sent people to report their accounts. I never greenlit them or anything. Some of them I made clapbacks videos to in the past, and their accounts got taken. I mean, listen, then don't fucking fuck with me. I don't know. I didn't tell people to go do it. If that's what is happening, why are you still talking shit about me on the internet? Just move on, do something else.
Right.
But I can't control what these other people do. Somebody's
But
out
that's
here.
why, like, I thought it was funny because when you first started coming at me, you were talking about you had told your people, don't engage with him. He's dangerous. And I'm like,
Dude, the shit that I heard was like
what?
the shit that I heard was like some crazy, ironically enough, some crazy like internet mob shit, bro.
Yeah.
It's like the direction my head was in and made me believe. Yeah, dude, I was like, I thought, man, I'm definitely gonna get like CPS called on me and all sorts of crazy stuff. No, nope.
Nope. So obviously it hasn't been all bad because you've raised some money for Western North Carolina. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we when it first hit, um, I've always been that's actually the first thing that I ever put for people to donate money to, because I've always been like very wary of that just because of how toxic it is. Anytime anybody raises money for anything, they have to
Oh,
prove
I
it's not a
know.
scam, blah blah blah. So that was the first thing I ever did, and I sent them through Preston. Preston's a friend, excuse me. Um, and or an associate, I should say, so that nobody go messing with that dude. He's a great guy though, great guy, trustworthy guy. And he works on Trump's campaign, so I sent him towards Preston to donate because I knew it was important for them to get those donations up to North Carolina, and that was the most trustworthy place or person that I could think of
Sure.
to do it through. And then recently, so at that time, I think in total, some of these people may know in the comments. I don't know. It was somewhere between $20,000 and $50,000 that was raised.
Wow.
And then recently, right after this drama stuff popped off, I was so after we raised that first bit of money, of course, life moved on for me. So we're dealing with one thing or another, whatever. I'm constantly busy. You hear a little bit about what's going on in North Carolina, but you just know, basically in my mind, I was like, okay, they're just still recovering, or they're trying to rebuild, or whatever it might be. Get a call one day from Rob, which is one of the four horsemen, and it's a group call, and he tells me about a baby. He's like, man, do you know they're freezing out there? Because it was getting colder. So they're freezing out there and they're asleep in the cold, and a baby passed away. I mean, it was an emotional call. So because he had just heard about it from Jolly Green Giant. I always call him Jolly Green Ginger. He had just heard about it from him. And I start hearing about this, and I'm like, and I hear that it's been going on for a minute, and like the details of it, and it made me feel bad because I'm like, how did I not notice that it was this bad? And we haven't said anything about it because I've been so caught up in drama or whatever else. So immediately after I got off that call, I made a video. Now, since then, there are people question whether there was a baby or how old the baby was or whatever else. I know what I heard. But at any rate, they raised AFF, or the people that went through that, raised over $20,000, I believe. And Rob actually ended up with another one of the four horsemen, ended up getting like a ton of heaters and taking them up like to Western North Carolina. And he showed some videos and stuff of like they ended up supplying heaters to a lot of people that needed them. So it
Now,
was
there
pretty
was
cool.
around that time there was your the opposing side some France, Paris, and
Paris, oui,
then
oui.
they were doing bikes, right?
So they say.
Right. So
No, I don't know much about that, so I could, but I do know that. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, if they were doing that, good on them. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about that. I didn't. So much
yeah,
drama
it
going
dropped
on.
off real
Yeah,
quick. As soon as some people started pushing back on them, all of a sudden they stopped. So I don't know what they
yeah.
did with the bikes, or maybe their kids got the bikes. I don't know. So Foot
I don't know
Johnny
who's
wants to
riding
know,
bikes in the freezing cold, but like
who
what?
approached you first about Tex, Cat, and Joe? Who was the loudest?
Yeah, you already know that. He made a video. And by the way, before I say this, I have no dog in the fight, so I don't dislike him. But Tin Man was the guy that made the video. Um, but and that's what kind of turned my head there. Um, so definitely, yeah. But since then, nobody's really pushed. Since then, nobody's pushed for it. There were people, dude, that did get real mad at me when I apologized to you. They were
Oh, I
mad.
bet.
Yeah, they were like, I mean, people to this day that have like that ended up on the other side of all this drama because of that,
All right.
probably. Dude, they were pissed.
They'd probably be a fan of yours still if you didn't apologize to me.
Right. I'm like, holy but I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, but dude, I mean, even that apology, wasn't, it was more of me saying, listen, I don't have facts to back this up, and I can't continue propagating this or saying that it's true when, dude, I mean, no, you're not going to. And I think, obviously looking back, it was unfair to say that about it, anyone. That's just wrong to say.
Sure.
Um, so and you, if you make a mistake, you got to correct that mistake. Otherwise, you can't just act like it never happened because your life. I mean, people are affected when you say shit like that on the internet. Um,
I will say it was
so
actually, I mean, I know y'all like don't like each other anymore, but it was Craig that kind of brokered that whole, I guess, peace
yeah,
agreement. Him and I were
yep,
having conversations, and
yeah. He was the first one to talk to you.
yeah. Now just real quick, I'm gonna give a little selfless plug here. It's not for me, but I got a longtime follower of mine. Her name is Cat's Meow on TikTok. She doesn't really show her face at all, but she's an incredible person. And her nephew is serving overseas in the Marine Corps in I think South Korea. And so she's put together a wish list that she's going to be shipping some packages out to the military service members that are over there. So I'm just going to leave the link up for the whole time. And it's also on my main Texan01 account that you can just click on the link. If y'all wouldn't mind possibly buying a little item, no cash. I don't do cash. No, there's no Venmo. There's no nothing. You just buy directly from the list and it's getting shipped right over to there. So if we could help her with that, help her, her nephew get that done. But so out of all of this that you've been going through, what do you regret?
Man, regrets. I can't say that I regret. As far as the internet stuff goes and what choices I've made, I don't regret anything because here's how, I mean, listen, even me losing my account sucked. It still sucks to think about, but at the end of the day, like I honestly try to I believe, man, things happen for like there's some shit that I needed to learn. Um,
What have you learned?
there's some shit.
How
That's
does
that's a
that
better question. There we go.
go?
Yeah, that's a better question. Yeah, so I've learned where I made mistakes and what I could have done differently to avoid all of it. So I put I try to make things too complicated, right? Because I try to involve too many people in the influence of my platform. Now, this is not me saying I'm not going to the direction of blaming
Sure.
whatever these other people, but what I'm saying is I made it way too complicated and tried to put more structure into it than there needed to be. I tried to make it more serious than it needed to be, or it kind of naturally went that way, but I didn't. I went with it. I thought it was a good idea. Um, I just it became a thing where I've just kind of assumed, kind of like what I did with you, right? I assumed that I was right. I assumed that I had that information, and when I said it, I underestimated back then the blind loyalty, what that meant, or what's the parasocial relationships.
Mhm.
I didn't understand it. I see it now. Now that you see it, you could see it from the outside looking in a different direction. But I didn't understand it then. So I regret that. I regret. Yeah, somebody said the general. Is that what that question was? Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's
did you
he.
have you learned to pick a better general is what the question
Yeah,
was.
I'm not picking any generals. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing is that it doesn't matter, man. I've learned that you don't. Man, I talk to him every day. Now, regardless of how people feel personally about him, that's on you guys. I don't need anybody to hate him or anything like that. What I'm saying is what I thought I knew, or who I thought I knew or whatever. I was mind blown for me personally. So you don't know people the way that you think you do, and you shouldn't trust. If I spent years building up a platform, why would I? It was pretty stupid of me to give somebody who doesn't have experience with that kind of stuff or isn't, let's say, they're socially inept, okay, and say, hey, guys, everybody listen to this guy. If he talks, I'm talking, basically, is what it is.
Right.
And then that just opens up doors for freaking um, destruction because shit gets confusing. Did he really say this? People start using that? It's just a big mess, and I don't know, man. Other than that,
What is AFF now? Is it still a group? Is it still a
AFF is,
movement? Like what do you consider AFF now?
yeah, because there's a whole part of AFF that it's just like not even this whole drama thing they could give two shits about because what happened was AFF became something because it was a group of people that found each other through following me, but through a lot of them, and I hate describing this because it makes me sound like I'm trying to brag. I'm just telling you what they say.
Sure.
They'll say uh, the reason they called it a conservative movement at first is they say I don't play Call of Duty, man. They say that freaking they'll say that you gave us our voice or whatever, and I've tried to dig a little bit and what they mean by that, and I think that when I started doing the clapbacks the way I was doing to the liberals and stuff like that, it freaking it like encourage them to do it, basically. A lot of them and some of them made videos, you may have seen, may not have, but a lot of them will say that they were encouraged and inspired to start speaking up more. A lot of them didn't make videos at all or even begin to make videos,
Sure.
and stuff like that. So then a lot of them came together and started forming a little family. They formed AFF. I didn't form AFF. That wasn't my idea. I think it was cool. And initially I think it was an abbreviation for Austin fucking Foreman, but it turned into Austin Foreman Family or whatever. And they kind of took that and did it on its own. And so people say I'm a cult leader, dude. No, the cult took me, man. They made me lead them. I don't have no choice. They just trapped. One day I woke up and I was a cult leader. Like they were like you. So, um, but no, they now are. I don't know how to describe them, man. Besides just a little, they're a family. Most for the most part, they have each other's backs and they're just support each other and I don't know, do what people do. They get online and hang out or they talk on the phone with each other. And, um,
Fair enough.
lately we've been fighting everybody off, but
Well, I guess that would probably be the last question. In all honesty, is what would it take for you to stop and get back to what you used to do?
Sure, me, honestly, I was just talking to somebody last night about this. For me, those videos that I used to make were basically the ones that would always take off and like are funny and just well put together. I have to be in a really, really, really good, like I have to be in my zone, like in a good mood. Um, and I'm getting back to that person, like I'm getting back to that place mentally. But it's hard to find motivation when I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie, there have been times where I've been pretty down. I'm not saying I'm sitting around crying, but it's hard, it's frustrating. A lot of it's very frustrating. Um, because yeah, I may be an asshole. You don't have to like me, but these people treat me like I'm fucking like I'm the devil. And the accusations
Understood.
they make, and they go around screaming all these accusations with no evidence, and the amount of people that believe them simply because they didn't like one other thing I did, so they'll believe
Right.
everything else. Um, but at any rate, yeah. So no, I think that's on me. It's not something anybody else can do for me or to try to get me there. Um, and I'm being patient with. I know that my content platform isn't going to take off again until I start doing that. And right now, I'm just kind of interacting with the people that are engaging and enjoying that. Because once it takes off again, if I start doing those videos again and putting that much effort into it, it's going to be there ain't no telling what's going to happen, man. So I know I'll do it different though.
They want you to do a Craig impression.
Okay, so you want Craig on your podcast for a second? All right, or they want it. Well, I'll tell you what happened right here. So Brittany, right there, that girl right there, there's a phone. I'm just gonna put her in prison. Okay. And what's gonna happen is I know you know about it, Tex. You know about it. You're just not saying it because you want to protect your friends. And what's gonna happen is they says that they don't hear my they just make stuff up. Sure, they got what receipts? They don't have no receipts. I got the proof. You want your proof? I got all the proof right here. You're gonna have to do it privately. I'll never post it. I'm never gonna show you. Never gonna show everybody. They'll pick it apart. Um, nope, I can't do it right now. I can't think of anything else.
Well, I do want to reiterate, Craig is invited onto the podcast if he ever chooses to come on.
Okay, but the only thing is, I know I'm putting you in a spot right now, but if you do that, you got to make the same post that you made for me, where
100%. No, I'm all about trying to find all sides to this thing. I mean, because like I said,
I'm there, yeah,
when you had apologized to me, and then like shortly after that, you and Craig broke up, and it was kind of entertaining for a while because he was outing you as the guardian, and I had stitched him and with some bag of popcorn, like keep spilling the beans, man. I like the thing with TikTok that I found is like everybody just assumes because it's on their FYP, it's on everybody's FYP.
right, yeah,
And so that's what everybody kept saying. Well, it's got to be all over your FYP. Nah, my FYP doesn't have any of this stuff on there. And it's right now, it's all politics and sports, honestly. So I don't see any of this stuff. And so everybody just automatically assumes just because it's on their FYP and their friend's FYP, then it's got to be on mine too. And no, it ain't. And so I guess, will it stop? Or is this for life?
no, I guess it's not gonna be for life. It'll stop, man. When so if I guess if I were to completely ignore everybody, eventually it'd stop. I mean, I know that. But there are some people I'm just like, yeah, that's how I do. That's what I do. Like literally is clap back to people. So for me to ignore some people, if they say something or whatever it might be, that's some self-discipline there that I've got to, and when I'm ready to, I will. It's just like anything else, dude. I drank for most of my life, and everybody tried to make me quit drinking. I didn't quit drinking until I was ready to.
Fair enough.
That's just my personality. So I'll pretty much do. Yeah, I think I'm the only one that could stop it, honestly. As far as it being as big as it is, as big of a deal as it is. Who started the
Who started
investigation?
the
You and Joe.
investigation into me and Joe? An investigation. Don't forget our
Maybe the
freedom
AFF
friends.
investigations. Huh? We're an investigation service.
Were you investigating me?
Uh, I mean, yeah, I guess you could call it that. I was trying to look for the God, I don't want to get who's it? Rachel DePalma accused me of because I have AFF investigations at gmail.com was an email. She tried to say that I need licenses and stuff like that. She was gonna file charges or something. So I don't want I'm not Inspector Daddy. Freaking no, I guess you could call it investigating or whatever. I was looking for the freaking basically what you did. Hey, send me the shit, guys.
Right.
Send me the shit that you're talking about. So who started that? Me, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I guess I guess from what I've learned so far is like you've admitted to doxing, you've admitted to being an asshole.
Recently. Yeah.
Um, you've put out people's jobs you've admitted to, or job. I don't know if it was multiple. That's the only one that was sent to me that about the job situation.
I don't know.
So
Anything I've ever done, I'm gonna say this for everybody listening. Anything I've ever done that you have a problem with, I don't regret it, and I don't give a shit if you have a problem with it. That's how I feel about it. If I did make a mistake or if I did regret it, I've told that person, like I've told Tex here. And if I made a mistake publicly, I've also acknowledged it publicly. I have no problem acknowledging when I know that I've made a mistake. So if I haven't yet, that just means your feelings are hurt and you need to get over it. That's how I
all right.
feel about it. So that's, I mean, I think that's the most honest answer anybody could give somebody instead of trying to just make everybody feel like he's trying to. I'm not. It's a big waste of my
Wait,
time
but
to
you
try to
did
please
write a book
everybody.
on how to manipulate people because that was brought up quite a
Yeah,
few times too.
yeah. Oh man, you should have brought that up way earlier. Yeah. Um, yeah, I still use that book today, actually. No, so that was a selling thing mindset, man. I was like really, really into sales when I was younger. So in my early 20s and stuff, I started working for this jewelry company. And dude, I thought I was Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. So I like studied, I'm self-educated on most things. Um, so explains a lot, doesn't it? No, I like studying like Grant Cardone, Jordan Belfort, trying to learn as much about sales as I could. I was also pretty new to like just trying to get into making any kind of videos on the internet, doing what I was doing. So for a while, I wanted to whatever I was learning about. I was like, okay, this is my thing right now. It's my niche, and that's what I want to do. I want to teach sales and stuff because I was actually really good at it. I mean, everywhere I went, I excelled and exceeded. But I will say, since I don't think I've ever talked about this before. I don't think I ever have. So, um, a lot of things that I thought back then and my way of thinking back then because of the stuff I took in from sales and stuff, I don't think that way anymore. That's just part of being a person, I guess. I mean, it's been what, almost 10 years. So I would hope that I would have grown and changed since then. Um, and that was all it was looking at some of it, I'm like, oh, it's cringy, stupid. When Brittany first posted that video, like, there's an old video of me. I don't know. You've probably seen it.
I
I
saw.
was like, God, I thought that was a good video and put it on the internet, dude. Holy shit. No wonder I never went anywhere with it. That was horrible. Um, so yeah. Yeah, but a lot of stuff though is actually pretty educated. Like it's a lot of stuff you can apply to real life, not the selfish bullshit, but a lot of the principle. I mean, listen, every time you talk to somebody, it's a form of manipulation. Every single time you talk to somebody, and it's not meaning in a bad way, but you're always trying to get what you want out of the conversation or translate your message or whatever you're trying to get across. You're trying to make that the, get the other person to receive what you're saying. So you're constantly thinking about how you speak and the way you do it, not in a negative way. There are people that manipulate for negative reasons, but
Oh yeah.
um, to try to get the result that you're looking for. And that's just we're social people. I mean, people are social creatures. So that's what we naturally do. And if you're going to naturally do it anyways, why not educate yourself on it as much as you can and try to you want to be the best at everything, be the best communicator, be the best, try to be the best. That's how I feel about it. But
And I do want to acknowledge that Gage guy because he said that I'm doing this for views, and I just want to say, yeah, I am doing it for views. I host a podcast for a reason because I
ask
want
him.
people to see it.
That's why his dad's name's on his page every day is for views. Gage, that's why he puts my name. He can't make every other post has my name on it. Views.
And
If
just
I
like if
was
Craig
if I was a
comes
guy
on,
with 10 followers that nobody cared about, you wouldn't be posting about me, Gage.
and if Craig comes on, it's for views too. I mean, and obviously to get his side of things. And if he chooses to, he's welcome to come on. I'll have the same kind of cordial conversation. Hopefully, we laugh a little bit and whatnot. I got no hatred toward either one of you. Honestly, I'm neutral in this thing. But
I forgot to dang it, I forgot to yell at you a little bit.
oh, you got to yell at me.
Well, if you're gonna have Craig on, you're gonna get yelled at.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just tell your AFF people like to chill out on me if he does come on.
He won't know what's in the comment section because he won't know how to read the comments at the same time that he's on the StreamYard. You'll be
Oh,
safe. And I'm not saying that to be an asshole. He'll tell you himself. He's not very good with technology. By his own merits. So
Well, we have Charles on every now and then, and he's not very good with technology. He's got Obama internet, so it's still like really slow.
That
too,
dude
so.
through hating me yet? Because I think he's funny.
He was
I
in
think
the
it's funny.
comments hating on you.
No, is he? All right, I'll take the trolling. Dude,
Well, you got
whatever
the,
Charles said is nowhere near as bad as these other people.
I think that woman hates me. She would never come on here.
Bring your manicured mom. Who's manicured mom?
Yeah, she hates me. She ain't coming on. You got any parting words? I'll let you have last word.
Well, it's been fun. It's been fun. Crazy, man. I'm still gonna blame you for all this. You're what started it.
I'll take the blame.
Me coming after you, this is supposed to be karma. I don't know why God favors you so much, but he must.
Oh, wait,
He
no,
must. That's what happened. I came after you and everything went to dog shit. No, I'm just kidding.
I tried to warn you.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you saw this all coming, huh? No, no, really, I appreciate you having me on, man. Thank you, and I'm glad we got to do this. Hopefully, we'll do it again. Because
Absolutely.
there's so much. I'm sure there's so much more shit. Maybe give them some time to develop some receipts, and if they send them to you, we could try again. Until then, good. I'll holler at you. Hopefully, let me know if the trolls come at you a little too hard.
Oh, they can't. Nobody can come at me too hard. It's just the internet.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's fair.
At the end of the day, I turn
That's
it
fair.
off. It doesn't fudge. None of that other stuff ever phases me.
That's fair.
So
Yeah, I need to start ignoring them. Yeah.
yeah. Well, hopefully we'll get you
appreciate
back
you,
to normal content. But everybody else, you have a great day, great evening, and let's get it.
Wait a minute.